Hey, everybody. I'm glad to be with you again tonight. And this is our third night of 30 Days of Success. And I'm excited to be with you. This is going to be Real Talk with me, your host, Jody, Almond, and I am looking forward to helping you discover and find success in your life. I can't wait to jump in tonight. I apologize for being just a couple minutes late. I was just trying to do some technical things really quick, but it's good to be here tonight, and I'm glad you're here with me for this session that we're getting ready to enter into, and I hope that you will enjoy your time. I would encourage you very much so to grab a notebook and a pen, a notepad and a pen, so that you can get this information. This is going to be some just amazing, empowering, and educational information for you tonight. And so I want to jump in as quickly as we can, and I want to begin talking, and I want to begin sharing some of these concepts with you tonight as we get into this. So when we think about finding success, I believe that it is crucial that we understand that in order to find success, I should understand my purpose. I should begin to understand why I'm here. What is my created purpose? I call it your UIP, your unique individual purpose. We all have a universal purpose, but what is your unique purpose? And when I talk about unique purpose, I want to help you understand some of that tonight. And when we think about purpose, I want to help you understand that everything in life, everything in this world has a purpose, right? Everything has a purpose. As a matter of fact, there's a ton of quotes that I found that has to do with purpose. I want to share a few of those with you really quick. Mark Twain said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover the reason why." I really love that statement. I love that quote because Mark Twain is telling us there's two crucial days in our life. One is the day I was born. I don't remember that day, but I can tell you I remember the day that I discovered my purpose. I remember the day that I discovered who I was and why I'm here. And I can tell you that day was life-changing. It was absolutely life-changing. Let me share another one with you on purpose. Our former president, Abraham Lincoln, said this: "You can have anything you want if you want it badly enough. You can be anything you want to be, do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold to that desire with singleness of purpose." Now, I don't know about you, but I really believe that. I believe that we can be and do anything we want to. Let me share just one more with you really quickly. Lewis Carroll, who wrote the story Alice in Wonderland, this is part of the story. And listen to this because this is crucial. Excuse me, this is part of the story. In Alice in Wonderland, the cat says, "Where are you going?" Alice replies, "Which way should I go?" The cat replies to Alice, "That depends on where you are going." And Alice says, "I don't know." The cat says, "Then it doesn't matter which way you go." You see, when we think about it, we must understand that purpose is essential. And understanding our purpose is essential to us knowing what we should be doing and how we should be doing it in our life. So when I talk to you about purpose tonight, I want you to understand that everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. When you think about it, everything that has ever been created by the Creator had a purpose. There's things that I have come across in my time on earth that I looked at and I was like, what in the world is this and what purpose does it serve? And then later I discover through research or through asking questions why that particular item or object or whatever was created by the Creator and its unique purpose. You are the same way, my friend. When God created you, He created you with a unique purpose. Now, you may say, "I'm not a person of faith," and that's fine if you're not. I want you to understand I am. So I come from a faith-based background, and this will have some faith-based teachings, but I'm not trying to cram my faith down your throat. I just want to help you understand that from my perspective and my belief system, you have a creator, and that creator created you with a unique individual purpose. So let's jump into this if we can, because tonight I want to talk to you and I want to share with you some things about your purpose. Now, this is 30 days of how to be successful, real talk with me, Jody Almond. And so let's jump in. You ready? You ready to jump in? I hope you are. I hope you're ready to see all that God has in store for you tonight and all the amazing things that He's going to do for you tonight in this lesson. I really believe that there are some amazing things that God wants to do for you in this teaching tonight, and I am looking so forward to jumping into this and getting started. But before I do, I want to go back and just see you for a minute again, because tonight I'm going to begin what will be a two-part series on teaching you the 10 ways to discover your purpose. I believe, and I have found, there are 10 things that will help you in discovering your purpose. And I want to begin those tonight. Now, there's no way I'm going to get through all 10. So I'm going to get through as many as I can tonight, and then we'll continue because we've got 30 days together, and I really want to pour into your life. And so I want to talk to you tonight and begin this journey of 10 things and 10 ways you can discover your purpose. So I hope you're ready, and let's get started. So 10 ways to discover your purpose. All right? So number one, you discover your purpose through your passion. So you have to ask yourself the question, what is my passion? What am I passionate about? What is it that I get excited about? What do I get really, really happy and excited and encouraged about? What is that thing, right? So what is it that I'm excited about? What is it that I get encouraged about? And that'll be number one, is what is my passion? Okay, so I want to talk to you for a few minutes about your passion, because when you find what it is that you love to do, let's look at it this way. Most people know who Oprah Winfrey is. Oprah Winfrey started off just doing some casual talk shows and some casual things. She built her talk show into a just one of the highest rated and most acclaimed talk shows there has ever been. And now Oprah Winfrey owns her own network. She's one of the richest women in the world. She is very successful. Why? Because she loves to investigate. She loves to talk. She loves to conversate with people. She has the knack for bringing conversation to a new platform, and she can do that. Now, whether you like her or whether you don't, that's not the question. The question is, did Oprah Winfrey achieve success in chasing her passion? Absolutely. Here's you another example. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey has shared his testimony countless times. He professes to be a believer in Christ. Whether he is or not, that's between him and God. I believe him. But here's the thing, is that Steve Harvey always felt the desire to be funny, to tell jokes, to be famous, to be on TV. He always had a passion for that. And we find that Steve Harvey pursued his passion, and he was able to accomplish exactly what he was passionate about. And so I encourage you today, I don't know what it is you're passionate about, and I believe you should write down this question and ask yourself that. What is it that I am passionate about? What is it that I want to accomplish? What is it that I want to do? And I believe you should do that, and I believe you should seek out those things that you're passionate about and do your best to try to find those things you're passionate about. So moving on, let's go on, because I know I'm on a time crunch. Not only is what is your passion, but number two, I want to talk to you about what is your personal giftedness. What is your personal giftedness? Because here's where we get into not only your passion, but what are you gifted to do? What is it that you feel like you have a gift to do? I believe that every person on planet Earth has a gift. I'm not talking about a talent. A talent and a gift are two different things. I'm talking about what are your gifts. Now, again, I'll be honest, with me coming from a faith-based background, when I talk about gifts, I'm talking about what are your spiritual gifts. If you have no idea what your spiritual gifts are, if you've never researched to find out what are my spiritual gifts, I encourage you strongly to investigate that. And I found resources that allow me to do that, but I want to encourage you to find your spiritual gifts. What are your spiritual gifts? What is it that your Creator has gifted you with the ability to do, to accomplish? Because this is what I know. I know that everything you're meant to do, you already have inside of you the ability to accomplish that which you've been called to do. I know that. So in discovering our purpose, we have to be willing to try to go farther and see what it is that we are gifted to do and see what it is that we are gifted to become. Now, if I keep going, then number 3, as we continue on, number three is ask yourself, what kind of personality do I have? Who am I in my personality? When you begin to understand your passion and apply it with your personal giftedness and tie in your personality. In other words, am I an introvert or am I an extrovert? What is my personality? What is it that I've been given the ability to do? Then I encourage you, once you know that, you begin to start building, if you will, you start building this portfolio of who you are. You start building and discovering your purpose. Because when you start putting these 10 ways to discover your purpose together, all of a sudden you begin to understand this in a greater way than you ever have before. Because now you understand your passion. T.D. Jakes made the statement, something along these lines, that when you discover your passion, it'll lead you to your purpose. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Number 2, when you discover your personal giftedness, it's going to enhance and add to what you're passionate about because they're going to begin to align. Then number 3, when you discover your personality type, when you understand this is my personality, it helps lead to your purpose. Let me maybe park here for just a moment and try to extrapolate this for you for just a minute. What I'm trying to say is that if you have an introverted personality, then chances are that you're not meant to be in an environment where there's a lot of people. You may be more successful being behind a computer screen like I'm doing right now, reaching millions, but you're comfortable and you can be conducive in what you're doing, and you can be very strongly comfortable is the word I guess I'm looking for. You feel very comfortable in what you're doing because you're an introvert. You're here and you're behind a screen. You can't see anybody, but you know in the back of your mind, the world is seeing you, but you're comfortable here versus maybe being on a stage or versus maybe being in a crowd of people with a bunch of people asking you questions. You're not comfortable like that. But then on the flip side, the extrovert, he can do or she can do what I'm doing and be efficient at it, but they are much more effective when they have people, when they have people that can converse with them and communicate with them and give them feedback. They're much more effective when it comes to that. And so when we're talking about our purpose, our personality is key. Our personality is key. Are we introverts or extroverts? Are we task-oriented or what is all these things? And we have to understand that so that we can begin to discover who we are in our purpose. Now, if I can, let me continue to move on because I want to take all the time I can to try to teach you tonight and give you some good, sound doctrinal teaching that will help you in discovering your purpose. The next thing I want to talk to you about is pleasure. Now, pleasure and passion are similar, but I want you to understand you can be passionate about something that does not bring you great pleasure. You can be passionate about things that you want to do and that you want to accomplish, but you've not reached the level of pleasure yet. What brings you pleasure? What brings you pleasure? In other words, what do you really enjoy doing? What is it that you enjoy doing greatly? What is it that you enjoy doing? In other words, let's go back and talk about some folks. You look at people like Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray loves to cook. Guess what Rachel Ray is successful at? Cooking. You could use a more modern person these days that most women watch, which is the Pioneer Woman. Now, I'm not going to jump there, but I want to encourage you. Think about her. Think about her. She's a woman who has several kids, who has a husband. They have a farm. And she's always cooking. She's cooking all the time for her family and for those who are helping, the helpers on the farm. And she's cooking for them. She's cooking for her church community. She's cooking for her community. She's cooking all the time. And people are constantly bragging on the Pioneer Woman's cooking. Rhea Drummond. They're constantly bragging on her cooking. And what we find is that now she has ventured out and she has a cooking show. Not only that, she's ventured out and done many more things. You see, when you begin discovering your passion and you begin to discover the pleasure tied to your passion, and then you discover your personality and your giftedness, now you're beginning to understand who you are. Now you're beginning to understand this is who I really am. Now, let me jump ahead and get to the last point, if I can, real quick, that I'm going to share with you tonight, because I'm going to talk for a few minutes on this one. And number 5, out of the 10 ways to discover your purpose, the 5th way is your pain points. Now, I have a lot of people say, Jody, what do you mean? How can my pain lead me to my purpose? I'm glad you asked. Over the course of my life, I have discovered that so many people that I've come in contact with and asked the simple question of, why do you do what it is you do? In other words, why did you choose this profession? Why did you choose to do this with your life? There's so many things you could do. Why this? When I begin to talk with people, and an example I can give you is my wife has some health issues, and we were seeing a rheumatologist several years ago. It was the first rheumatologist she had ever seen. And so we were seeing this rheumatologist, and in seeing the rheumatologist, she was a younger lady out of school. And I guess in my brain, the way my brain works, I was thinking about a rheumatologist probably being some older gentleman or older lady or whatever, up in years. Maybe they had some issues with whatever, some issues with health or whatever. I don't know why my brain thought that. But anyway, I just asked her. I asked the lady, I said, out of curiosity, how long you been doing this? And she told me and told my wife, and I could tell she enjoyed her job. And I said, well, why is it that you chose rheumatology? Out of all the fields in the medical world, why rheumatology? And she began to share with us how that her grandfather as well as her brother had severe rheumatological issues, arthritis, and all these issues that affected their well-being that worked around the world of rheumatology. You see, I can promise you, and I could tell you by the tone of her voice and by the look in her eye, that was a pain point for her. That was a pain point for this lady. Here's another example. There's a friend that I've made recently. Her name is April. And April, I was talking to another friend about her today. And April is a lady who has just written a book. I've met her through an author circle that I'm a part of. And she's also an author. And so we were talking through social media. And I keep up with her very regularly there. And April's got a magnificent story. April's story is that she endured years and years of domestic abuse at the hands of her husband. And so April now has written a book based off her life experience in that and how she escaped that with her and her children and how she freed them from the abusive cycle that they were in living with her husband. She also helps people, not only by writing the book, through coaching and through other ways. She helps people, not only the abusee, the one who is going through the abuse, but April also helps people who are not only going through the abuse, as I said, but they also are the ones who are going and helping people with abuse. So like me, if I'm helping counsel people and I need some advice on how do I help this man or this woman who is in a domestic abuse situation, April, she can give me advice as a person of interest to that person, a support system to that person, and help me to understand the best ways to help them. Now, why do I share that with you? I share that with you because these are examples of pain points. And what I encourage you to do with this lesson tonight is I encourage you to write down these first 5 of the 10 ways to discover your purpose. I encourage you to do this. And this is why. Because when you write these down, I want you to take the moments in your life tonight and this week, and I want you to begin dissecting your life, and I want you to begin to discover your purpose. I want you to begin to discover your purpose. You say, why is that important? Because number one, I want you to figure out, what is my passion? What is it that I am passionate about? Number two, what is my personal giftedness? What is it that I am gifted in? Now, if you've never taken a spiritual gifts survey or spiritual gifts test, I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to do so. Number three, what is my personality? What is my personality? Am I an introvert? Am I an extrovert? Am I task-oriented? What is my personality? What is it that my personality is? Because it doesn't matter what my passion is or my giftedness is. You see, again, going back to someone being a chef, they may never be on a TV show. That may not be their passion. Their passion may be to own their own restaurant. Their passion may be to be the head chef at the premier restaurant in one of the big cities or the city they live in. Their passion may be to own a food truck. There's a lot of ways this could go. It's going to tie into what is my passion, what is my giftedness, what is my personality, and number four, what is it that brings me great pleasure in life? Now, let's be honest, there's things that bring most people in the world pleasure. So I'm not talking about the generalizations like family and vacation and eating and all those things. I'm talking about things that seriously bring you pleasure, that separate you and makes you unique in those areas of pleasure. Not meaning there's nobody else like you, but everybody doesn't enjoy this. Maybe, right? So everybody doesn't enjoy doing this. And then number five, what is my pain points? What is the things that I can say are my pain points in life? And when you begin, my friend, to understand those things, then you're on your journey to the 10 ways of discovering your purpose. And you can never, and you will never, I assure you this, you will never find real success in your life until you begin discovering what is my purpose. Now, this is a major part of God's calling on my life, is to help me help others, is for me to help others discover their purpose. And I have formulated not only this, but many ways to help folks do that. And I want to encourage you, if you've never done this, I want to encourage you to go to www.solution. You can see it up here in the top corner of my screen, solutionministries.com. It's not S-O-L, it's S-O-U-L, like a human soul, solutionministries.com. When you go there, you're going to see an opportunity for a free resource. It's How's My Soul Survey. I encourage you to take that. And then when you're finished, because I love to give back, when you're finished, I encourage you to set up a free 30-minute video chat consultation with me where I can begin to help you. I talk to you about some of the things we talked about in this session tonight. I begin talking to you about, do you know your spiritual gifts? If you do, let's talk about them. What are you passionate about? I really talk about those pain points in How's Your Soul, because here's another thing I've learned. If I'm not finding success in my inner self, if I'm not finding success in my personal self, my personal life, the inside of me, if I am like a hurricane on the internalization of my life, the externalization of my life doesn't matter how successful I am. I am miserable. So these are things we begin diving into, and I try to help you as much as possible. I'll be honest, if I'm being totally honest, that 30 minutes is so crucial, and I do not waste your time. I'm not just lollygagging along. I am really trying to make the most of those 30 minutes with you because I understand how important your time is. And so I encourage you to do that. But you can start yourself today very easily by just doing these things we've talked about tonight. You can start today by asking yourself these 5 questions. So I hope you've taken the opportunity to write them down. I hope you've taken the opportunity to take a screenshot, whatever, and get these so that you can begin asking yourself these questions, because these questions are the beginning of you finding your destiny. It's the beginning of you fulfilling your purpose. And when you begin to do that, you're going to find that there are some amazing things waiting on the other side of this for you. And so I encourage you to do those few things tonight. And we're going to pick up and continue this discussion on the 10 ways to discover your purpose. We're going to continue that tomorrow night, and I hope you'll be back with me tomorrow night at 7:30. I cannot wait to be with you. I cannot wait to continue discussing this with you, because there's going to be some amazing content continuing from this as we continue in our discussion of the 30 days of success. Real talk, right? We're just talking about real talk is what we're doing. And so we're talking about those 30 days of success. And I want to help you as much as I can with those things by going through these 10 ways and helping you to understand what it is that God has for you in this. Amen. And so I hope you'll just check in with me again tomorrow night on Facebook for 30 days of how to be successful. Real Talk with Jody Almond. I'm on Facebook every night through the whole month of April, and we're going to be discussing these things. And I appreciate you taking the time to jump in with me tonight, and I look forward to being on again with you tomorrow night, and just can't wait. Hey, listen, if these lessons and these sessions are impacting your life, share it on your Facebook page. Give me feedback in comments, or send me a personal private message and say, Jody, this is transforming my way of thinking. This is transforming my life. You wouldn't believe how many people I've been able to help through these strategies, and I want you to be one of them. So I appreciate you being with me tonight, and I can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow night. But until then, God bless.